Hi friends, welcome to my channel, Mindful Mandala Art. I'm Khadija and I share art tutorials that help you create your own mandala dot paintings. I will be uploading new videos every Friday, so please be sure to subscribe, hit like, leave a comment, as this helps the channel grow and reach more talented artists like you. In this video, we are creating a beautiful pastel mandala that has a super calming effect to it, and I love working with these colors and this mandala design because when I combine them together, they help me reduce my stress and find peace in my mind. And look at that cool kaleidoscope effect, it's so fun. Getting right into it, the first step is prepping your base with either black paint or black gesso, and I like to use the color black as my background because it makes the other colors really pop out. I also recommend using gesso because it primes the canvas much nicer. You definitely don't have to. Black paint also works just fine. You're going to simply pour it onto your canvas and use a sponge or paintbrush, I prefer a sponge, to cover it entirely. Once that's dried, you're going to find the center of your canvas to know exactly where to place your center dot. And for this, you're going to need a ruler, pencil, and eraser. If you search in YouTube how to find the center of a circle, you'll get videos on how I did it here, but in the future, I will definitely be making a video about it on my channel. As for the tools that I like to use, I prefer wooden dowels, and I made several videos on my TikTok showing all the different kinds that you can purchase and utilize as well, so be sure to check that out there. Next, you're going to create your circle guidelines using a pencil and a compass. You'll simply place the compass on the center of your canvas and draw circles going outwards. And the size of each layer is dependent on what size your tools are and completely your choice. There are no rules there, so get drawing and have fun with it. A tool I use in this step is the Lazy Susan turntable that helps me spin my canvas as I'm drawing, which you can see I'm doing here with my left hand. Now we're ready to paint, and for this design, because it's a pastel mandala, I use the colors white, lavender, tutti frutti pink, a turquoise, and tropical blue by the brand Deco Art. If you're Canadian, you can easily grab these at Dollarama in almost every color. The consistency is a bit thin, so you won't get pumpy dots, but I don't mind that anyway because I double dot, and I'll show you what I mean by that later on in this video. Now very quickly, before we get into the painting, I want to show you how to erase a mistake. It's really simple. You just need a wet cotton swab, and this is really important. You have to do it while the paint is still wet, but you're just going to lift the paint off with the swab and it'll be totally gone. You can choose to go over it with black again or just dot over it. Now as you're painting, I'll just share some other things to keep in mind while dotting. Number one, if you're a beginner, make sure you dip and dot for each dot. So I'll say that again, dip and dot, dip and dot. Dip in your paint and then dot onto your canvas because you want to make sure you have enough paint on your tool to create a full round dot each time. Number two, when you're holding your dotting tool, make sure you're holding it straight up and maintaining that 90 degrees when you're pressing it down as well. Number three, use the tool that fits the layer you're on, and as you keep practicing, you'll learn and get a better idea of what fits what size. Number four, this one is really important. You really want to just keep an open mind. Don't be too hard on yourself. This takes a lot of practice, a lot of patience, and I promise with consistency and heart and an open mind, you can get there just as I did. One thing I've had to really open myself up to in the process of learning dot painting is making mistakes, failing, and being imperfect. You won't always have the symmetrical dots, and that's totally okay. Don't beat yourself up for not achieving it because I promise no one else is. So now I want you to vibe to this awesome chill music, enjoy learning, fall in love with the process, pause this video when you need to, and get creating your gorgeous pastel mandala. I'll come back closer to the end with some more tips. for these dots, I use two different size tools, one for the bigger dots and another one for the smaller ones that are closer to the bottom. You could technically just use one and keep dotting until they get smaller, as the amount of paint on your tool will get less and create that effect, but it's up to you. I just prefer the other way. I suggest trying both ways and seeing what you like. So you're just going to keep dotting, filling in the spaces as you like, have a little spin at it, and enjoy the beautiful design. I think it looks absolutely gorgeous so far. And once your dots are completely dry, I usually just leave them overnight and continue the next day. You're going to double dot. I mentioned this earlier in the video and I'll talk about it more now, so listen closely. If you want to double dot, your first layer of dots should preferably be a paint that is more fluid. That's why I like the Deco Art brand. It depends again on the brand that you purchase or you already have and the thickness of the acrylic paint that you're using, and you'll only learn what you like once you start experimenting for yourself. But here's a pro tip. If you want to make your paint that is more on the thicker side, less thick and more fluid, you're going to simply add pouring medium to your paint and mix it up until you get the consistency that you like. And if you're probably wondering, how much do I add? I don't know. You'll just add the same amount of how much paint you have in your palette. On the other hand, if you like your dots plumpy with that pointy effect, you'll leave it as is and dot away. Also, when you're double dotting, you're going to use the tool that is one size down from the tool that you used for the first dot. And if you want, you could also go for a triple dot once the second layer is completely dry. And that's all for this tutorial. I really wanted to make it super short and simple with some key tips on how you can get started on creating your own masterpiece. I really hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. Please subscribe, hit like, leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you guys. And if you want more daily inspiration, dotting tips, or if you're in need of some art humor, connect with me on TikTok, send me a DM on IG, and check out my Pinterest. Now you can also shop my art, which is really exciting, or you can show me some love by simply favoriting my Etsy store. I've linked everything in the description below for us to connect easily. Until next Friday, I love you, stay blessed, stay present, and keep doing more of what makes you happy.